In the organogram of who to obey, God comes first.
Hi everyone, this is Favor Ogundese and welcome to Teen Talk Global. Welcome to this YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing teenagers and choice, the teen and God's will. And with me I am Sister Ruth, and together we'll be discussing how to say no as a teenager. Before we go into the main thing, Sister Ruth, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Ruth, and I'm a child of God, kingdom addict, a young relationship minister, and also sexual puritan and a girls advocate. I do seminars and conferences about just choosing right for singles and then teenagers on how to live right and how to live purposeful and how to please God, in whatever you do.
Well, that's a whole lot of hearts. But it's good to have you here, ma.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now to move into our theme proper, why should we say no as teenagers? What is the need to say no?
One of the reasons why you should say no as a teenager is because you will not always say yes, and you should not always say yes. And the earlier you know that, the better. That in life there are times that you will need to say no. There is always a junction or a point you get to in life that you would have to say no. Now, when you understand this, you understand that um, you are the pilot of your own actions, and you are the pilot of your own. Let's say you're the pilot of your life. So once you understand that you need to say no, at some point in your life, you've understood a lot of things. And also the scripture says that in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1, there is time for everything. There is a time to cry and a time to dance. There is a time to mourn and a time to laugh. So there is a time to say yes and there is a time to say no.
So all of this boils down to timing.
Yes.
Timing. Okay. So now I want us to go deeper. Teenagers battle with lots of things, and one of these things includes inordinate affection, where we have feelings or our emotions erupt or our hormones just go haywire because of the stage that we are now. So how do we say no to inordinate affection?
How to say no to inordinate affection? Um, I would like you to understand firstly that having an affection towards somebody is not a sin. It's a normal thing, especially when you are growing, right from your puberty age, to grow through adolescence and now to a full adult. So it's very important that you understand that it's really not a bad thing. It's even not a bad thing to feel attracted to somebody when you have a crush towards somebody, or the butterflies that fly in your tummy, and also it's fine. But what makes it inordinate is when you do it the wrong way. And don't forget, I told you about timing the other time. There is a time for everything. What makes your affection inordinate is when the affection is happening with the wrong timing. You understand that is inordinate. And also, as teenage, I know that many teenagers might not know how this affection and how this love thing works. So they just tend to use their head knowledge to do it, and sincerely, it can be quite disastrous. So you should understand that as teenagers, you know, you should know that at this stage of your life, at your teenage age, is not the age to keep loving up, keep going into a relationship, testing someone's sexual potency or the other. That's not the main thing. The main thing is that you need to say no to inordinate affection. So how do you say no? to inordinate affection. Number one, you must be disciplined yourself. And what do I mean by discipline? And part of discipline is what I also refer to as boundaries. You must keep boundaries. You must be disciplined. There should be places you don't go. There should be words you don't speak. There should be friends you don't relate with. That is how you create a boundary for yourself. There should be things you don't watch. There should be websites you don't visit on your phone. And also another thing is that you should be careful of sexual vices are flying around here. You don't need to go to any porn website before you see one. So you have to guard your heart with diligence. That's one of the ways you can actually, say no to inordinate affection, and also beware of teenage dating. I know you want to explore, you want to enjoy this, this love and all, but sincerely, there is a time to do that. And when is the time, nobody will question you, nobody will, doubt your convictions about love. But for now, this is the time to develop yourself. This is the time to develop your academical career, and this is the time to, to know who you are. So as a teenager, it's important to say no.
And from what you said, I picked something. You said we should watch our friendship. So that is where I'm picking my next question. Okay. How do we say no to unnecessary friendships? Friendships that we know they are not bad per se, but they are affecting our growth, they are affecting our lives. They don't make us do what we need to do. Like our time gets eaten up when we move or relate with those kind of people, and it's not that they are bad in themselves, and it's not that what they make us do are bad, but then there is a need for us to just be to separate that.
Okay, the scripture says that as iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Now, there's this popular adage that says, "Show me your friend, and I'll tell you who you are." When you understand that you're a reflection of whoever you call your friend, I think you'll be very intentional when you want to pick a friend. When you understand that if I say this is my friend, that is why I'm so careful with the word friend. That you can't, if you tell me, oh, my friend said this about me, I'm always careful to ask you which friend, because I don't want to use the word friend carelessly. When you are calling somebody my friend, by implication, you're saying that I look like the person, you're saying that we are like minds. You're saying that we think the same way, you're saying that we are sharing values and we're sharing beliefs. So the first thing is to understand that whoever you call your friend is a reflection of who you are. Now, how do you say no to unnecessary friendships? Number one, um, you know that any friendship that is not adding to you, it's not adding value, you are not getting anything productive from that friendship, it's not edifying. You should know wisdom demands that you cut off from such friends that will drag you. There are some friends that all they do in life is just to drag people backward. They can't come to you and tell you, okay, this is the next step I want us to take. This is a new idea I feel we can execute. Okay, this is if even if they are your classmates, okay, I feel like we should read this topic. Let's say you are in school, I feel we should read this topic. I feel you are lagging behind in this area. Let me help you. You see, if your friendship is not revolving around this, edifying and productive areas, I feel like the wrong friendship. So it is very, very important to choose somebody, and mind you, do not let your friends choose you. You choose your friends. That's the formula to being a successful person. You don't just let your friends choose you. People should not just pick you, on the way and just say, okay, this is my friend. You should be intentional. When you pick your friend, that shows your intentionality when it comes to friendship. So you understand that friendship is beyond this is my friend. You are sharing something. You're sharing beliefs. You're sharing your values. You are sharing a lot of things. That means you have many things in common. So when somebody is not, Bishop David Oyedepo will say, if somebody is not going your way, it is wisdom for you to detach yourself from the person, because if you don't know where you are going, everywhere will look like you. So once you know where you are going, it will be very easy for you to choose friends that are going, alongside that direction to help you also fulfill your purpose and destiny.
Okay. Before we leave this question, right? How do we say no without hurting the person? How do we detach without hurting that person?
How do you say no without hurting that person? Okay, I will answer that question, but I just want to sound this note of that there are times that you will have to hurt people when it comes to your own progress in life. There is a point you get to that you will have to hurt some people. When I mean hurt some people, I don't mean negative. Parting with your friends can be kind of hurtful, especially if you've shared a lot of things in common. But if you know that that friend will not be instrumental to your growth, even if it's hurtful, it is wisdom that you detach from that person. So sometimes it might be hurtful, but that's the truth. That's just the formula to be successful. So even if it's hurtful, if there's no way you can actually help it than to be hurtful, please let it be hurtful. Let it be hurtful so that you both will not miss out in life. However, there are other ways to actually detach to without hurting the other person, and I feel like it can be gradual. Somebody you talk to for 5 hours before, and then because you want to detach, then you just minimize it to 20 minutes. To be too obvious that way, to be very obvious. You can just do it little by little. You talk 5 hours before, you can reduce it to two, and then along the line you can still reduce it to one, and then before you know, and then especially let me tell you this: if the friend is not a purposeful person, when you bring issue of purpose, when you bring it up in your conversation, it will get bored. You will get bored easily.
That's a
It will,
really nice one.
it will just get bored, and I'm like, see, let's just do your day. You get so when you can just, especially when you're intentional on living a purposeful life. And that other friend, let's say you just got the word of purpose, the way when people get this salvation, this
There's
thing,
a
and
need
then
to
yeah,
decide.
there's a need to detach, and then they are just they just want to detach from everybody. And then there's this friend of yours that has not actually gotten that salvation experience. So by the time you keep bringing up salvation gists, they will leave you because they can't
You can't relate.
exactly. And that's what makes your friend. When you can relate to the happenings in that person's life, when you can relate to their experiences, I think that is what friendships are.
Intentionality is key, understood, and very, very important.